Alrighty. So I'm Leanne. Wanted to thank all of y'all for being here for our town hall. I really don't have, unfortunately, a whole lot to report, but I did want to have this town hall to give you the opportunity to hear what we know and also to ask any questions. I'll just start off with a few updates. We are starting our first Chesapeake chats sponsored by Newport News Shipbuilding tomorrow. We are going to be having those on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Hopefully you all got an email about this. This is just the community engaged. Is somebody out there?
Hi, okay. Kim Shoemaker from Kettering University.
Hello?
Hi, I'm Kim Shoemaker from Kettering University.
Uh-huh. Did you have a question? Okay, I'll just keep going. Hopefully you got the email about the first Chesapeake chats. We're going to have them on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They're going to be at 3 and 3:30. These are just going to be 30-minute sessions. They could be on just about anything. It could be a team update or team showcase. It could be a story about how the season was for you. It could be a shout out to your seniors. It could be a panel discussion. Really, the sky's the limit. The great thing is that we do have team stipends. So if a team decides to sign up to do 2 of these 30-minute sessions, to host 2 of these 30-minute sessions, the team will get a $200 stipend. After we do 20 sessions, then teams can sign up again. So theoretically, teams could get up to $400 in stipends, and that was made possible through Capital One and Show Best Fixtures. So if you don't have that email, look in your spam. Hopefully you got it. And if you still can't find it, let me or Ron know, and we will send you the information. I did want to let you know that we've had a couple of conversations with First Headquarters. We had one on Friday, and then we had another one earlier this week. And they are just, they have a lot on their plate. As of, I think it was Tuesday, 7 states weren't going to have kids in the classroom until the fall. I know right now it's something like 80% of the country is on, a stay-at-home order. So first is not only having to deal with what's going on in the United States, but they're also have to deal with what's going on in Canada, what's going on really around the world. So they're just trying to figure out where we're going to land with this. And so they are asking for our patience and our understanding as they try and unravel this season and even next. They did have some information for us. One was that there is going to be a virtual showcase on May 2nd. Hopefully you have gotten the communication about that. They do want teams to share videos at hashtag FCC First, and those will be part of that showcase. They'll also be announcing some awards at the showcase. They're not quite sure which ones. They're talking about Woody Flowers, Dean's List, Volunteer of the Year, Compass, and Promote. And they did say that they were still accepting, Ron, correct me if I'm wrong, they're still accepting Compass and Promote applications until April 10th, correct?
That's correct.
Or did I just put you on the spot?
No, that's right.
That's right. Okay. So First Headquarters has had to cancel a few things. The First Global at Epcot is going to be canceled. It's probably going to be virtual this year. I think that's what we're going to be seeing with a lot of these events. If anybody was going to the First Partners Conference in Louisville, that is another thing that's probably going to be virtual this year. Now, the thing that probably most people want to know is what's going to happen with our FRC season. And First has said that they are going to make a decision within the next 4 to 6 weeks. And that's because registrations are going to be starting in May. We're not sure what that decision is going to look like, but we're hoping that at that point we can at least start planning as to what we're going to do locally to hopefully finish out this season, recognize folks, and start the new season. There are a couple of ideas that are out there. These are all hypothetical. None of them, none of them have any more weight than the other. One of the ideas is resuming the season where we can throughout the world, depending on travel restrictions, school closings, and just where we are with this whole COVID-19. Just resuming the season where we can. The other is retooling the current season for the next season. Of course, that brings up all sorts of questions about off-season events and where teams from this year would land next year. And then another option is just canceling this season and starting fresh in the fall. There's just really, like I said, these are all hypothetical. None of them have been, none of them stand out as the solution. But I just want you to know that they're out there, they're being discussed, and hopefully we will have some answers soon. And really with that is about all I have to report. So do you folks have questions that maybe I can answer or maybe I can't?
My staff
numbers tracking.
Guys, I need you to be quiet.
Hey guys, we just muted everybody. Can you please mute yourselves?
Okay, you ought to be able to unmute yourselves if you want to ask a question. Just everybody started unmuting and it got pretty loud, so I muted everybody back. You can just turn it back on.
Hi there, Carl Becker here. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Yeah, so you mentioned something about a showcase in early May. Can you talk about that? I hadn't heard about that.
Oh, okay. So first is going to be hosting a virtual showcase. It is going to be May 2nd. I'm not sure if they are completely nailed down as to what the format is. Ron, do you have more information on that?
No, I don't.
No. There was information that was sent out. Ron, is there a place where we can post that, where folks can see it?
Yeah, we could put it on our website, really. Somewhere on the website, I'll link to it. I'll look at it. That's something we'll just have to get back to people on.
What we'll do is we will put it on our calendar on our website and link it to a page. Does that work, Ron?
Yeah, that works.
Do it that way. We'll do it that way.
Thank you.
Sure.
Somebody asked the question in there, any word on refunds?
I asked that question again today, and I was told that it was in the first. It's given us a kind of a box where we're supposed to put all of our questions, and I was told that it was in the box. But right now, the answer is first is not refunding. But they do understand that this is unusual time, that these are unusual times. But right now, I don't have a good answer for you. I'm sorry.
Ethan has a question about 30-minute chats. Can you unmute mute yourself, Ethan? And
yes.
Oh, hey, Ethan.
So can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Awesome. So I see that you talked about teams hosting their 30-minute chats. So what's the kind of structure for that? Would that just be the teams have a topic in mind that they talk about for 30 minutes, or or just that they would just claim that they're hosting a chat that's really having somebody else talk for 30 minutes? So what were you kind of thinking along those lines?
The answer is all of the above. So we we do have some suggested topics. We did say that it would be great if you wanted to bring in a guest speaker, but we also want the teams to get creative. The main thing is I would like to see these 30-minute chats as being a dialogue. I understand that, you know, you would want a few minutes for presentations, but I also want it to be opened up so folks can ask questions and can share ideas. Does that answer your question? And also, I'm trying to think. Oh, I will be sending out an email to everybody tomorrow or Friday, and the link to that information will be there as well. We've sent out an email earlier, but there will be another email with that link as well. So just look for that.
Fantastic. All right. Yeah, that answers
And
the question.
also
Thank you so much.
If you look in the chat, the messages there, the link is actually there, Matt.
Yep,
Matt
I see
Gwynn
it.
just put
Thanks,
it
so.
on.
Oh, thanks, Matt.
And Nancy wanted me to just say that if you're on the phone and you're not on the computer, that you hit, I guess you use a *6 to actually unmute yourself if you want to talk.
Hello.
I guess Kim from Kettering has a question. You can just unmute.
Okay.
Hi. So we've been talking as a university what we could do to keep teams engaged, and we're also highly interested in hosting additional competitions. We did manage to get our first 2 in. So we've been talking with First in Michigan about that, but it kind of depends on what First does in general. But what recommendations would you have that we could do to help teams? We'd be happy to participate in chats, but I'm just wondering what else you might see that we could do for you guys.
Pardon my ignorance. Where are y'all located?
Michigan, Flint, Michigan. Kettering University is predominantly an engineering school.
They're one of the
Mhm.
sponsors for FRC.
Mm-hmm. But there's nothing local. In other words, okay.
Figured
Wow, that's a really good question. I'd love to hear what the folks on the call have to say.
yeah, I mean, everything's pretty virtual right now, so.
Yep.
Does anybody want to chime in? If not, we can certainly get back to you on that.
No problem.
Hi, this is Stephanie Deloach with Goochland High School, Team 2106 Junkyard Dogs. And
Yeah.
something that I was thinking about is that if we don't have any more regular season, we would love to participate in as many off season as we can. You know, we put a lot of effort into the robot and everything. And so maybe something that we can do is get more off season events going. And so we would be happy. We would try to host one if we could. And maybe that might be something that we could have some information about, is how to, you know, what's the best way to go about doing that.
Sure. And thank you. I appreciate that. We've had quite a few folks who have offered to host these off-season events. Right now, we have to hold off and see what First may be doing. One of the options is possibly retooling the game, this year's game for next year. And so that is probably going to impact the off-season events. So again, hopefully we'll have an answer mid-May, and we can move forward from there.
Thanks, appreciate that.
Hello, this is Lavinia Dorsey. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was just going to say I'm not a really big fan of redoing the season because I know that's one of the options, but I'm not a big fan of it.
Well, I know. It's, yeah.
Oh, this is Lavinia Dorsey from the Irrational Engineers community-based team.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to find out, we have a lot of seniors, which I know other people do too. Is First considering allowing seniors to be able to compete in this coming up season? Being that we didn't compete at all.
So all all I can tell you is the gossip.
Okay.
And this did not come from quarters. This was third-hand knowledge. But I was involved in a conversation where someone else had been involved in a conversation with someone at headquarters who said they are considering that. So that's not a very good answer, but it has been floated. But we don't have an answer on that yet. I will say that one of the
Just
things that
wondering, thank you.
one of the things that we did want to do to recognize our seniors is I know that some of the teams have already put together videos that are senior shout outs. And if you have those, if you want to share them with us, Ron has offered to get them up on the website, correct, Ron?
That's correct.
Yeah, to get them up on the website so we can at least recognize our seniors that way. I know it's not perfect, but we definitely do want to be able to recognize them in some way.
One more thing I thought of, another parent had asked about the first tassel, senior tassel. Are those going to be available for this year? The graduation hat tassel.
Oh, that's a really good question. I am not aware of that. Ron, do you know?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I do not know. I'm sorry.
I'm asking a lot of questions because I have a senior, and we have a lot of seniors on the team, and they probably would be in favor of Star Wars to repeat that because they were very psyched about Star Wars. So I'm just putting.
We all were. Yeah.
In terms of the graduation tassels, I found them on like the First Inspire store. If you if you go to the regular, so you can. They were there a couple weeks ago.
Thank
so
you,
I would
Nancy.
imagine that they possibly still are.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Nancy.
Hey, Leanna, it's Eric Wood from Rubber Bees. I just want to address the senior thing. So actually, your seniors can participate in your team today. There's only a few positions on the field that they cannot participate on today. So they couldn't be a driver, and they probably can't be a chairman's presenter. But I really think even if first says that seniors can't participate as students, you can invite them back to your own team as like a junior mentor and allow them to participate that way.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Definitely.
Okay. Thank you. And thanks to whoever told me about the tassels. Thank you about. Okay. Thank you.
And Matt just put the link out there to that also for those tassels if you're interested, to the store. Another comment that was made, because kind of I think related to the Kettering thing, is from 888, Ray basically says that I think it would be a good idea if the colleges could do like a virtual tour at the engineering school and that to and be available on some of our chats to do that.
Okay.
Does anybody have anything else?
David Keegan here.
Oh, hey, David.
Hey, so I was at Kettering for a term and a half, A section, a long time ago. Kettering had a fantastic set of engineering stuff in the basement of what used to be a tank factory, if I understand correctly. That would be a fantastic virtual tour if they'll let us do that or have a way to do it or don't already have one. I know VCU is not nearly as interesting, even though I completed my degree there. I would much rather a tour of Kettering than a tour of VCU. I'm not going to lie to you. But that kind of thing would be pretty interesting. If you had someone like Virginia Tech that has a closed but still possibly accessible research reactor and you can get a virtual tour of that, or if there one exists online, that kind of thing could be interesting also for teams in the area. I think UVA might have had one at some point as well, but those could be ideas for various teams in the area to sponsor a chat for. Just
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Anyone else?
All right. Well, guys, I do want to let you know that we are going to have another town hall. First is going to give us an update around mid-April. So I've tentatively scheduled a town hall for April 16th. And hopefully we'll have some more information for you there. We will put that on our website. We'll put it on our calendar with the dial-in information, and we'll try to send a reminder out to everybody beforehand. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Be safe, wash your hands, and we will talk soon. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right.